Okay. So let's get going. We have amazing brownies today. And what's the best part about them? They are actually good for you. And I'm going to laugh because I've been doing this series on protein, and we don't need to have all this protein that everybody tells us we have to have. But these brownies are packed with protein. If you want to get your protein in, this is a great way to do it. And also for those of you who are concerned about your magnesium, and magnesium is really great for your nervous system and regulating yourself, and so easy to make. Okay. Okay. So let's get going. We have amazing brownies today. And what's the best part about them? They are actually good for you. And I'm going to laugh because I've been doing this series on protein, and we don't need to have all this protein that everybody tells us we have to have. But these brownies are packed with protein. If you want to get your protein in, this is a great way to do it. And also for those of you who are concerned about your magnesium, and magnesium is really great for your nervous system and regulating yourself. It's one of those core nutrients, minerals that we need. Chocolate, our cacao powder, is chock full of magnesium, and it's an amazing antioxidant. So this is so good for you and so easy to make. Okay, we are going to use our food processor today. This is how we're going to mix everything up. And let me take the lid off. So we're just going to put almost everything into the food processor. We are starting with black beans.
Oh,
yes. Black beans. So I have a can, just a 15 ounce, or I think it's 396 mils of black beans. I've rinsed them off. These are organic. If you can find salt-free, that's the best. So we're going to put that in. We're going to add in our sweetener, which is dates. So this was 12 dates, and you can adjust for how much you like your sweetness of your brownies, but I find 12 dates is about right. So what I did is I cut them in half so I could get rid of the pit inside. And then I soak them in hot water for about 15 minutes to soften them a little bit. And I'm going to throw them in here. Don't let them soak too long. I've made that mistake too. And the soaking water, you can actually use the soaking water for other things. You got all the nutrients that are still left over. So we're going to use it for something else a little bit later. Of course, we need our chocolate. So I've got half a cup of cacao powder, and I'll give you guys the recipe after. So you have that, but that's half a cup of cacao powder. This is the one I use. It's organic and it's raw. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. High in fiber, high in magnesium, and high antioxidant. Come on, what do you need? And what else does it say? There's no sugar. All it is pure organic cacao. That's it. Nothing else in it. No sweeteners. Be careful because sometimes they do have sweeteners in them. And then we're going to add an avocado. Now, I actually ran out. My kids eat a lot of avocados, and we ran out of the soft ones yesterday. So I ran to the store, and I'm hoping these are little ones. Usually I use one that's a bigger one. It's quite a bit bigger. So I might put about 1.5 in. We'll see. And I always have this hold my breath when I'm opening the avocados to see what they look like inside. Ooh, this one's not bad. This one's not bad. It has a little bit of black around it, but it's pretty good. I'm just scoring the inside. Like, you don't have to do this, but I'm just scoring it inside, and then I'm going to scoop it out. Let me get my trusty spoon. It looks pretty good. And if it had some blackness, you can like work around that. I've got a little bit here. I'll put it on here. And I might do 1.5 because this is a smaller avocado. So this is where you're going to get your healthy fats. Got a little bit that I'm going to pull off here that's got black around the edges. and put that in here. And this is where you get your omega-3 fatty acids from. And it's always better to get that from the real food than the supplements whenever you can. So this one, I got another avocado here. I'm just going to use part of it. Oh, this one's got a lot of black in it. Yuck. So I'm just going to scrape some of this out. It works perfect. Somehow or another, it's perfect. Because it's going to be just enough to add a little bit extra for because these ones are smaller. All right. Then we have, this is a flax egg, which is made from flax seed, ground flax seed. So I have 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed, and I added 6 tablespoons of water, and I actually used this soaking water here to make it. And you want to let it sit for about 10 minutes. And this is a replacement for eggs that you can use when you're plant-based, when you're baking. And you get all the beautiful fiber, you get omega-3 fatty acids. And if you've been following me, you may have heard this many times before, but if you buy ground flaxseed in the store, which you can, make sure you store it in the freezer because it goes rancid very quickly. So it goes bad very quickly. And if you can buy it whole and then grind it up yourself, what I found the best way to do is to put it in a coffee grinder. So if I need 2 tablespoons, just put 2 tablespoons of the whole flaxseed in a coffee grinder and grind it up. That's a great way. But you cannot digest whole flax seeds. You have to grind them up for sure. If you just eat them whole, they're just going to go right through you, and that's it. There's no real benefit for it. And then we have a couple little things here, and this is a little bit of leavening, and I actually have thought maybe of trying it without, but I haven't done that yet. But I've got a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar here, not much, just a little bit. I'm going to put a tablespoon of baking soda and a half a teaspoon of, this is baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of the baking powder. So this gives a little leavening to it. Like I said, I've all wondered about trying it without, but I haven't done that yet. See how it goes. And that is it. Oh, I forgot plant-based milk. So I've got 2 tablespoons of oat milk. So any plant-based milk is fine. And then we just mix it up. See how it's doing here. It's looking good. Looks pretty mixed up. I'm just gonna wipe down the sides and give it another little whirl. It looks pretty good. Got my batter there. Yum. All right, and that should be it. How easy is that, guys? Huh? Or ladies, sorry. No, hardest part getting it off. What I'm going to do is take the blade out here, and then I'm going to add some chocolate chips and some nuts. This is a little extra. Let me put this blade here. So I have some chocolate chips. Now these are vegan chocolate chips. Be careful what you're buying. I've seen them in the stores. So we'll have a bit of sugar in it, like cane sugar. And you want vegan chocolate, not milk chocolate. And the other thing to be careful is some of them have stevia in it. And I'm not a fan of any stuff like that. I don't know if it's real, but you have to be careful with that. And then I'm just going to add some chocolate chips in. And I'll stir them up, and then I'm also going to add some walnuts. So these walnuts I've sprouted, What that means that I soak them to get rid of the enzyme inhibitors. So nuts and seeds have enzyme inhibitors on them. And so by soaking them, it takes those off. And then I put them in my dehydrator to reconstitute them so they're crunchy again. And then I still store them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And it takes off. I find walnuts have a very bitter taste. And once you remove that enzyme inhibitor layer by soaking it, you get rid of that. So I'm just gonna, these ones are whole, so I'm just gonna crunch them up a bit and put however many nuts. If you like nuts, put them in. If you don't like nuts, don't put them in. It's up to you. That one looks like it still has a coating on it. Okay. And you can make them as small or as chunky as you want. You get some nice little crunchy bits when you're eating them with a little bit of walnut in it. So I'm just gonna do that. And then just mix it up. Little bit here. So that it's the chocolate chips and the walnuts are into my batter. You could put this in a bowl, but I'm being lazy because I don't want to, everybody's busy. So I try and do things the quick and easy way. So just put it in there. And again, I have a baking tray. So this is a 9x9 glass baking pan. I put parchment paper for easy cleanup. And you can wet the parchment paper and cut it so it sticks in nice. But here's what I do. I just throw this in and then it's going to weigh it down. And I kind of fiddle with it once it's here. Makes it easier. But you can be more precise if you want to, for sure. Put in the batter. I want to get it all here.
What was your secret ingredient, Debbie? Was it the avocado?
The beans.
The beans, I see.
Who would ever think that you would have beans in brownies, huh? What do you think? It's a bit of a surprising. I guess I should have said it was a surprising ingredient.
Yeah, that's okay.
Maybe that would have been better, but.
Well, sounds good, yeah.
All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna flatten it out. And then I've got my oven preheated to 350. So I'm going to put that in the oven. So I'm going to get all this yummy stuff off of it. This is where the fingers come in.
Just eat it.
This is the real professional way to do it,
Just
guys.
eat it. Just eat the batter.
No, I'm good. I don't like to eat the batter. I do too, but I don't like to because then I want to eat the whole thing. I try not to do that stuff. Okay, so this can just pop in the oven for about 45 minutes. Now, the instructions say until the knife comes out clean, which you've probably heard from any other thing. What I did is when the top kind of gets a little crusty, that's after about 45 minutes or so, then that's what I just took it out of the oven and it's beautiful. Let it cool and away you go. And then of course, you have, I've already had some of this one. So when I was doing my little video, I had to have two because I had to do 2 takes of my video. That was too bad. So this one, and again, easy cleanup. I just have the parchment paper. I buy my parchment paper at Costco, and just be careful. The one thing about parchment paper is it makes easy cleanup, but some of them apparently have a wax film on them. The one I buy at Costco, which is Kirkland brand, is just parchment paper. There's no wax on it. So here is my brownie that I made. Let me bring it closer. Of course, there you can see some of it's gone. Already got eaten. And what I can do is add, honestly, this is good for me. I don't need anything more, but you could add a nice little drizzle to it. So I gave you 2 options for a drizzle. One using maple syrup and the other one using dates. I'm going to use the maple syrup here so that I just have to put it into a little container here. I've got my little cup And you can use tahini if you're nut-free, or you can also use almond butter to bring that up. I'm using tahini partly because I'm out of almond butter, which is like unusual for our family. So I've got to just take a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup here. I'm almost out of my maple syrup too. Time to go to Costco. And I'm going to add in a tablespoon or so of the, let me get a tablespoon here. I'm going to add in a little bit of tahini. I don't want to add too much, but it'll give it some texture and creaminess. And what else am I adding in? Oh, some chocolate, of course. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of chocolate. I'm going to add, there we go. And then I've got some water here. My soaking water, I'll use that soaking water to thin it out as I need. So I'm just going to use a little whisk to bring that out, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of the water as I need. And hopefully I didn't add too much water there. Yeah. So you can also take dates instead of the maple syrup, and then that way you can just blend. That one you'd need to put in a blender, which is a little more finicky. That's why I like this method here, because you just have to whip it up. And I might have put a little bit too much, and this will soak into this will soak in here. This one's pretty thin, but I would maybe want to make it a little thicker. I can add this as a drizzle to my thing and let it sit. And there you have. I guess you could pour it all on if you wanted to. Just gonna let it sit in the top. And there is some easy, delicious brownies. They're pretty, they're actually very fudgy, which is great. Let me bring it up close for you to see. And you see, they're pretty fudgy, and but they're baked and ready to go. All right. So I'm gonna bring my camera a little closer. And all right, so let me check it out. Diana, I used a can of black beans, so they were already cooked. Yes, you want to make sure they're cooked first. So if you cook your own, you'll want to cook them first. And I just used the easy way, which is I bought a can of organic black beans at the store. I rinsed them off and drained them, and then I added them to the thing. And so cacao powder and cocoa powder are more or less the same, just a different way of saying it. If you can get raw, that's the best. If you have, some of them are not raw, it's okay, you might as well use it, but you could think about in the future getting the raw, which has got more of the nutrients in it for you. Does that make sense? And I don't know if anybody has any other questions. You could even dip this in here. Do that. Yum, yum. So good. And I'm not even a chocolate fan, but I'll take it. A great way for dessert. If you have kids or grandkids, just imagine they don't need to know what's in them, and they'll be fine. So there we go. Cheers, everyone. How quick and easy is that?
Cheers.
All right, look at that. Less than half an hour, we did it all, and we're ready to go. So let me get you the recipe. Make sure my hands are clean here. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Let me get this.